Hello everyone, my name is Bailey Penner and I'm with PY301. And this is my presentation over encouragement or discouragement in college students' subsequent test scores. So going into this, I really wanted to focus on studies that related to test scores and feedback for students. I found a lot of evidence suggesting that the after effects of tests were a main focus for researchers in the last 10 years, whether that be for race, demographic, or age group, as well as testing environments, locations, and so on and so forth. But I never really found anyone that was interested in testing to see if they could manipulate a student's performance on the test based on what they were told before they started the test. So that's what I really wanted to do. And I used these different studies posted here by PENNER, Brookhart, and Tube to help me guide my path on this journey to finding out if I can make an adequate hypothesis to test this. And I think we ended up finding something that was suitable. My prediction was if a group of participants hear how easy a test is before they take it, then they will score higher than a group that hears it is difficult and a group that hears nothing at all about the difficulty level. My main emphasis was to try to be charismatic through the videos I presented to them to convince them that I was being sincere about what I was saying of the videos. For instance, the easy tests, I told them they should have no issues completing in the introduction. This turned out to be not as adequate as I thought it was going to be in the long run through the test results, but I digress. It did go pretty well and we got some interesting numbers out of it. Our participants, I had 55 in total. I requested 60. We had a few drop out, but they were primarily female with only 8 men, 47 women. So female dominated, that's something to take into consideration. Perhaps a male dominated group would have performed differently, but we had women dominate this particular study, as well as a couple of upperclassmen, which I was not really anticipating. I anticipated only freshmen and sophomores, and we ended up getting some juniors and seniors in as well with more experience with general knowledge psychology courses. So, and it was a very interesting batch of individuals I had come in. And I got most of these participants from undergraduate psychology courses. So in the materials section, I had 3 videos start off. Those would be the easy, hard, and neutral control videos, where in the control video, I made no statement as to the difficulty of the test. And the other 2, in the easy video, I told them that they would have no problem completing the test. And in the hard video, I told them that it would be extremely difficult for them to complete the test. But they all ended up performing around the same, regardless of what I told them before the video started. I also had a test survey that they took after they were finished with the general knowledge test that had questions revolving around how they feel about preparing for a test and what they do to prepare for tests and how that makes them feel. I really wanted to gauge emotional scale on the test to see if I had raised their anxiety through the videos that I had created or if I had done nothing at all, and how they feel about taking tests in general, especially when there's a grade on the line rather than just completing a study like mine. So I was really interested in getting that out of them. And I was impressed by the results of the surveys. Everyone kind of answered somewhat similarly on it. My design was a multiple groups design. I had 3 groups for the 3 different videos. Those would be my independent variables, the easy, hard, and neutral tests. And then what I was measuring was the test scores and performance after they had watched the video and taken the test, as well as the survey. My procedure was completely performed on Qualtrics. I really had a good time with this program, very easy to use once I got the hang of it, very smooth and effective. And it did a fantastic job of randomizing the groups into the different video categories. There was one group that had a few less participants than the others, but with 55 students, things can get a little uneven. So I understand the program was just doing its best to sort them out, but it ended up being a really great program, and I enjoyed using it. Yeah. The test score differences were the most shocking part of the entire study for me. It turned out that it didn't really matter what I told the students during the tests. They all scored relatively well on the test at about the same. You can see the easy test video had an average of 2.53, significant difference on the hard test, 2.80, and 2.77 on the control, as well as the medians being 10, 9, and 8 subsequently. And you can see how many participants were in each of those groups, 15 for the easy, 21 for the hard, and then 19 for the control. So it turned out that there was no significant difference at the end of the test, but it was still really interesting to kind of get in the ear of these subjects and see how they would react under pressure and when being told by an advisor that something is difficult. They overcame the obstacle with no problems, and when they were told it was easy, they performed well, just as if they were told nothing at all. So really happy with the outcome of this. It allows for other studies to become available where they could manipulate certain instances of this test and kind of try to get into the heads of the subjects a little bit more, maybe throw them off, raise the stakes, see what happens. But as is, students don't really perform any differently under my study. So it was very interesting. Here you can see the test score graph, pretty straight through as far as the test score differences. Significant differences is minimal. Easy being the highest, not by much, hard being the next, and then neutral being the next. So very interesting. As far as conclusions go, I think that there needs to be different manipulation done in order to get much more of a significant difference than I did. You can kind of see somewhat of a change in the direction of their results, as easy was the highest test results of any of the groups, but it doesn't really matter where you come from, what your age is on the college level, and what your race is. Everyone kind of tends to perform the same. And I think based on the previous studies that I've looked at, feedback after the test is over is the best way to prepare students for the next test. Looking at past mistakes or past successes is a great way to motivate one student to do better on the next one. What it comes down to is it doesn't really matter what the teacher tells you or the arbiter tells you. You just have to do the work, put in the time, do the studying, and you'll be the best prepared for the test you complete. As you know, we have a convenient sample from the college, so perhaps it would be different if I were able to go into a high school. Maybe that would cause the age to be a factor in a freshman or middle school classroom setting. We just don't know. 18-year-olds are quite a bit different than 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds. So it'd be something that would be interesting to do down the line, just to see what the reaction of those teenagers would be. Um, Future research wise, I think a larger sample size would be great, with a diverse mindset, maybe other than psych students. In order for that to be uh, fair for everyone involved, there would be a different knowledge test to be completed, perhaps a more generalized knowledge test over general education class settings, with a little bit of math, kind of similar to the ACT, but on a light scale. I think would suffice for a larger, diverse group. Um, and definitely face to face would, I think, cause uh, things to be different if the students could see me when I told them how they would perform on the test or what I thought they would do on a test. Perhaps seeing me in person would change their perspective or viewpoint on that, and perhaps raise or lower anxiety depending on what I'm telling them. So it's very interesting. But as you can see, bottom line is, like I just stated, in order to do the best you can do on a test, the research still shows that you should put in the time and study, and that is the best way you can prepare based on the information we have so far. Here are my resources. I use Brookhart's. As you can see, a lot of these sources, in fact, everyone I have listed here is within the last 10 years. So this has really been a step forward for researchers to look into test results and how students are performing on tests, and to see if they can help students do better on their tests based on different factors. And I was really excited to be able to step into this field with these other researchers and kind of put a dent into it, see what I could come up with. I wanted to say thank you to all of the participants that I had in this test. Couldn't have done it without all of everyone signing up, and I'm very thankful for all 55 participants to give me the information that I needed. Thank you for all the help from Dr. Wiley and Dr. Grover on getting my Qualtrics account set up and helping me overcome a lot of technological difficulties, as well as assisting me in getting my IRB approval, which was crucial to the success of the test. So thank you both for all of your help, and the teaching assistants, Maris Lysis and Kevin, being the main ones for me, having the most help. Thank you, both of you, and the other teachers' assistants that assisted me along the way. So I wanted to say thank you all. If you have any questions, you can contact me, and I will do my best to answer them for you.